Many of us live our lives within unseen walls. These walls are built from our habits, our routines, and our fears. We call this space our comfort zone. It feels safe, it feels predictable. Yet this perceived safety is an illusion. This zone, while comfortable, is also a prison. It limits our potential, it restricts our growth, it keeps us tethered to a past that no longer serves our highest good. Think of it as a self-imposed boundary, a line we dare not cross for fear of the unknown. This comfort zone operates much like a time loop. Each day can feel like a repeat of the last. The same thoughts lead to the same choices. The same choices lead to the same behaviors. These behaviors create the same experiences. And these experiences produce the same emotions. These emotions, in turn, influence our thoughts, completing the cycle. We become trapped in a loop of predictability. Personal growth stagnates. The vibrant colors of life fade into a monotonous gray when we remain stuck. Imagine a film reel playing the same short scene over and over. That is your life in a restrictive comfort zone. You know every line, every action, every outcome. There are no surprises, but crucially, there is also no expansion. You are merely existing, not truly living. The soul craves novelty. It yearns for new experiences. It seeks evolution. To deny this is to deny a fundamental aspect of your being, leading to a quiet sense of dissatisfaction. Breaking free from this prison requires awareness. It demands that you recognize the invisible bars. You must see the loop for what it is, a pattern of limitation. This recognition is the first step towards liberation. It's the moment you decide that familiar comfort is no longer worth the price of your potential. You begin to understand that true safety lies not in sameness, but in your ability to adapt, to grow, and to embrace the ever-changing nature of reality. Our daily habits are the architects of our personal reality. They are the subconscious scripts that run our lives on autopilot. Most of these habits were formed in the past, often unconsciously. They are responses to past experiences, past teachings, and past emotional states. These ingrained patterns dictate how we think, how we feel, and how we act. They are the threads that weave the tapestry of our current existence. If the threads are old and worn, the tapestry will reflect that. Consider your morning routine. Do you reach for your phone immediately? Do you think the same anxious thoughts about the day ahead? These seemingly small habits accumulate. They reinforce neural pathways in your brain. They condition your body to live in the past. Each habitual action is like an actor following a pre-written script. This script was written by your younger self, a self that may not have known what you know now, or desired what you desire today. This script, born from habit, keeps you anchored to a specific version of reality. It is a powerful force. It creates a predictable future because it is based entirely on a predictable past. If you want to change your life, you must first change these habits. You must become conscious of these unconscious programs. You must be willing to rewrite the script. This means observing yourself without judgment, noting the patterns that no longer serve your evolution or your joy. The impact of these daily habits is profound. They don't just shape your day, they shape your identity. You become the sum of your routines. If your routines are limiting, your sense of self becomes limited too. Your reality becomes a reflection of these internal limitations. To change your reality, you must therefore be willing to change who you are being on a daily basis. This is the journey from a past-based self to a future-oriented self open to new possibilities. Let us explore a fascinating concept, the Cinematic Multiverse Hypothesis. Imagine that every possible reality exists simultaneously. Like an infinite library of films, each one represents a different timeline, a different life path. You are in this moment experiencing one specific film, your current reality. This film is directed by your thoughts, your emotions, and your habitual actions. It is a very personal production, starring you in the leading role. This hypothesis suggests that consciousness is not limited to a single track. Instead, it has the potential to navigate between these different cinematic realities. When you make a significant change in your internal state, your thoughts, feelings, and energy, you essentially switch channels. You begin to tune into a different film, a different timeline. This isn't science fiction. It's an analogy for the profound power of conscious choice and energetic alignment in shaping your lived experience. Think of your brain as a highly advanced receiver. It is constantly tuning into frequencies. These frequencies are determined by your dominant emotional states and belief systems. If you're predominantly in a state of fear or lack, you tune into realities that reflect fear and lack. If you cultivate states of joy, gratitude, and abundance, you begin to resonate with realities where these qualities are abundant. You are choosing the genre of your life's movie. The beauty of this cinematic multiverse is its inherent potential for change. You are not stuck watching a film you dislike. You are the audience, the actor, and most importantly, you have access to the director's chair. By changing your internal landscape, you can consciously select a new film, a new timeline, a new destiny. This understanding empowers you. It shifts you from being a passive observer of your life to an active creator of your preferred experiences. Stepping out of your comfort zone is the very act of timeline surfing. It is a quantum leap from one reality track to another. When you do something unfamiliar, something that challenges your old self, you are literally disrupting your energetic signature. This disruption creates an opening, a portal to a new set of possibilities, a new film in the cinematic multiverse. You are consciously choosing to exit the current scene and enter a different one. This isn't about small incremental changes within the same old story. This is about a fundamental shift. It is about choosing a new script altogether. When you remain in your comfort zone, you are reinforcing the energetic patterns of your current timeline. Your reality remains predictable, but when you dare to step into the unknown, you introduce new information, new energy, and new potential into your personal field. This is how transformation occurs. Consider learning a new skill, speaking your truth in a difficult situation, or traveling to an unknown place. These actions break the hypnotic rhythm of your routine. They force your brain to create new neural pathways. They signal to your body that it's no longer business as usual. This is timeline surfing in action. You are navigating the currents of potential, moving from a familiar shore to an undiscovered country within your own being and experience. The old timeline, the one scripted by your past habits and fears, continues to exist as a potential, but you are no longer primarily tuned into it. You have shifted your point of attention and therefore your point of experience. This leap requires a conscious decision. It requires you to say no to the familiar and yes to the unknown. It is an act of faith in your ability to navigate new waters, to star in a more expansive and fulfilling film. The courage to shift. The emotional engine of change. The physics behind these quantum jumps, these timeline shifts, is deeply connected to courage and emotional resonance. Courage is the catalyst. It is the initial burst of energy required to overcome the inertia of your comfort zone. Fear is the gravity of the old timeline, always trying to pull you back. Courage is the anti-gravity force. It is the willingness to act despite fear, to embrace uncertainty for the sake of growth. Emotional resonance then acts as the tuning fork. Once you've made a courageous step, the emotions you cultivate determine which new timeline you begin to align with. If you step out with feelings of excitement, anticipation, and empowerment, you resonate with realities that match these elevated states. Your emotional signature becomes the beacon, attracting experiences that are coherent with your new frequency. This is why cultivating positive emotions is crucial for sustained change. Think of a radio. Courage turns the dial away from the static-filled old station. Your sustained emotional state then fine-tunes the receiver to a new, clearer station broadcasting a more desirable program. If, after a courageous act, you allow yourself to slip back into old emotional patterns of doubt or worry, you risk retuning to the old timeline or one very similar. The coherence between your actions and your feelings is paramount. Therefore, mastering your emotional state is key to mastering timeline surfing. It's not just about doing something different, it's about someone different. This means consciously choosing how you want to feel, regardless of external circumstances, as you navigate the new and unfamiliar. This emotional mastery, fueled by courage, allows you to consciously select and stabilize yourself in a preferred reality, a more inspiring film from the multiverse. Breaking the loop. Practical steps to initiate your jump. So how do you practically begin to break out of these comfort zone time loops? The first step is always awareness. Spend time observing your thoughts, your emotions, and your behaviors. Keep a journal. Notice the recurring patterns. What situations trigger predictable responses in you? What fears consistently hold you back? This honest self-assessment is the foundation upon which all change is built. You cannot change what you do not acknowledge. The second step is to define a new vision. What kind of film do you want to star in? What does your ideal self look, feel, and act like? Be specific. Write it down. Visualize it. Feel the emotions of this future self. Now, this creates an energetic blueprint, a clear signal to the quantum field of the reality you wish to experience. This vision becomes your North Star, guiding your choices as you step out of the familiar. Thirdly, take small, consistent actions outside your comfort zone. It doesn't have to be a monumental leap immediately. Start with something that feels slightly uncomfortable but manageable. Perhaps it's speaking up in a meeting, trying a new hobby, or taking a different route to work with mindful attention. Each small step builds momentum. It trains your brain and body to become comfortable with discomfort, which is the gateway to growth. Finally, rehearse your new self. Mentally walk through challenging situations, imagining yourself responding differently as your ideal future self would. Visualize success. Feel the elevated emotions associated with this new way of being. This mental rehearsal primes your brain and body for the actual experience. It's like an actor practicing their lines before going on stage. You are preparing yourself to embody a new role in a new, more empowering reality. Navigating new realities. Embracing discomfort as a guide. When you begin to step out of your comfort zone, discomfort is inevitable. This feeling is not a sign to retreat. It is a signal that you are growing. It indicates that you are stretching beyond your old limitations. Your body and brain are accustomed to the familiar. The unknown triggers a natural resistance. Embrace this discomfort as a compass, pointing you towards the direction of your evolution. It shows you are on the path of timeline surfing. Fear will also arise. Fear is the guardian of your old self, your old timeline. It will whisper doubts. It will remind you of past failures. It will try to convince you to return to the safety of the known. Recognize fear for what it is. An old program trying to maintain control. Thank it for trying to protect you, but firmly choose to proceed with courage. Your consciousness is more powerful than these old patterns, if you decide it is. The key is to change your relationship with discomfort and fear. Instead of seeing them as enemies, view them as indicators of progress. When you feel uncomfortable, acknowledge it and remind yourself that this is where the magic happens. This is where new neural pathways are forged. This is where you access new potentials within the cinematic multiverse. Lean into the discomfort. It is the friction that polishes the diamond of your true self. As you consistently navigate these new, sometimes uncomfortable pathways, something remarkable occurs. Your comfort zone begins to expand. What was once terrifying becomes manageable. What was once manageable becomes easy. You are literally rewiring your brain and reconditioning your body. You are proving to yourself that you are capable of more than you thought. This builds an unshakable self-belief, empowering you to take even bigger leaps into even grander realities. The observer effect. Your consciousness, the director's chair. In the realm of quantum physics, the observer effect suggests that the act of observation can influence the reality being observed. Let's use this as a powerful metaphor for your life. Your focused consciousness, your attention, is the observer. Where you place your attention is where you place your energy, and where you place your energy is what you bring into your experience, your personal film. You are, in essence, directing the show. When your attention is predominantly on your problems, your limitations, and your past, you are energizing that reality. You are keeping that particular film reel running. But when you consciously withdraw your attention from the unwanted and place it firmly on your desired future, on your potential, you begin to influence the quantum field. You signal that you are ready for a new scene, a new storyline in the cinematic multiverse of possibilities. This means becoming incredibly intentional about what you focus on. It requires discipline. The mind, conditioned by habit, will want to wander back to familiar worries and anxieties. Your job as the conscious director is to gently but firmly redirect your focus. Meditation and mindfulness practices are invaluable tools here. They train your ability to observe your thoughts without identifying with them and to choose where your attention rests. By consistently focusing on the reality you wish to create, and by embodying the emotions of that reality, you move from the audience to the director's chair. You are no longer a passive recipient of circumstance. You become an active participant in the creation of your life. You understand that your inner world of thoughts and feelings is the primary cause, and your outer world is the effect. This is the power of the conscious observer in action. Architects of destiny. Crafting your preferred timeline. Ultimately, this journey of quantum shifting is about becoming an architect of your own destiny. It's about realizing that you are not a victim of circumstance, but a powerful creator. The cinematic multiverse offers infinite possibilities, infinite timelines. The choice of which film to experience, which reality to inhabit, is yours. It begins with the decision to step out of the familiar and into the unknown. This means taking responsibility for your inner state. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are the tools you use to sculpt your reality. By mastering these internal tools, you gain the ability to consciously select your preferred timeline. You learn to resonate with the frequency of the life you truly desire. This is not a passive wish, it is an active process of becoming. You are designing your future from the inside out. Embrace the role of the timeline architect with joy and purpose. Know that every courageous step, every moment of conscious emotional regulation, every act of stepping beyond your fears is a powerful stroke of your creative brush. You are painting a new masterpiece on the canvas of your life. You are scripting a new, more empowering film. The old stories can fade into the background as you bring your new vision to the forefront. So dare to dream beyond your current limitations. Dare to feel the emotions of your ideal future before it has manifested. Dare to take the actions that align you with that vision, even when it feels uncomfortable. You are the director, the writer, and the star of your life's grand production. The cinematic multiverse awaits your command. Step into your power. Choose your timeline and become the magnificent architect of your extraordinary destiny. The greatest adventure is the one you consciously create.